Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. It is Sunday, June 6, 2021. How are you all today? I hope you're well. For those of you who are new to my podcast, thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share. Check me out on Facebook under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop, and check out my website at lisahop.com. I'm spelling it again. The spelling is LISAHOPP.com. With a name like my last name, sometimes people want to make it a B instead of a P or add an S. So I always want to make sure that you're going to the right place so you can check out my services, my events, the books that I've written in the past, and everything about me and why I do the work I do. Thank you again for joining me today. I appreciate it so much, and want to get right into the topic today, starting a little bit late this morning, so you might hear lawnmower in the back or something like that, and that's okay. The topic. So if you've managed to listen to any of my other podcasts before coming into this one, and if not, it's okay, you will definitely get the opportunity to understand what I'm talking about just now. I every week talk about our ability to create the life that we desire. We create our lives. We do come with a blueprint into this earth world, this physical world. We do have goals that we want to work on: growth, expansion, creation. But we do have a free will, and so we can add little spice to our lives and change our will, add things, delete things. And there are other wills around us that also have that opportunity to do the same. So for instance, when you come to this earth, perhaps you thought that you would have 3 children. And then when you get here, your greater path, well, it's not greater if you have 3 children. Now, our will know that, but also we do have a team. We have a team of guides and angels, those who handle our life records and God that look at that as well. There's also the will of the soul that would be coming in to be your child. That is your will. The will of the other parent to this child has a say. So there's a lot of things that have to come together for a number of children on this earth that are born. It's not predestined and set in stone, so to speak. However, when you are assigned those souls, they are yours. So you are a parent, whether you become a parent on this earth or not. But the number can change. And so that is a very good example of the power of free will, of not only your free will, but the free will of others too, and the overall will and good of that energy source that we know as God, or as Yahweh, or Source, or Universe, however you wish to know it, Creator, however name, it's really the same. And so, but that doesn't mean, by the way, that you're a puppet and that you don't have a say. And if you say, I want 15 children, that you can be overruled without a thought as to, is that better or good, or, is that source ever cruel? No, it's really, it's always working on your behalf. The universe is always working on your behalf. So let's say you've learned all this, and I hope you have, how you are the ultimate creator. You design your life. And by the way, I can help you with that. I do help my clients with that, whether it be in person or through Zoom, even through telephone it can happen. But, please know that. Again, check out the website. But let's say you're on your first day, and you are creating your ultimate life, and you have lined up all of your clarity, your visions, you're doing your affirming statements. I am successful. I do have that. I am happy and so grateful now that this is happening. You even perhaps have a prayer chain that you do, that you go to a saint, or go to Jesus, or go to Blessed Mother Mary, or go to a Saint Pio for healing. That's set up too. You have all your network engaged. And you're feeling confident. And you're feeling powerful. As you should, to be honest. Because you are designing your ideal life, right? And then all of a sudden, right off of the starting gate, everything falls apart. And what you are going towards with improvement, all of a sudden it's worse than it was. Perhaps you were going towards financial freedom, and now all of a sudden there are repairs that have to be done. The car is breaking down, has broken down. There's a hole in your roof now. There's, things that are larger, that feel like they're piling on you. Perhaps you're going towards health and you get that number. That is not considered great news. Perhaps you're going towards the best romantic relationship and you're left. There's a reason for all of that, believe it or not. So it's so important to trust what you're doing, to trust the universe, to trust that energy, and to not give up, and to keep working on it every single day. I tend to take life as much as possible, one moment at a time. The only thing I really plan ahead would be if I have to make an appointment. My client appointments, of course, are ahead, but vacations too. I am a planner. I am a planner with the ultimate sprinkle of spontaneity. I am not rigid, but I do like to have a sketch. And it's fun for me. It gives me something to look forward to, a respite or a break, a way to have positive energy. So other than that, I'm living in the moment for the most part, because I know that the universe is going to line up things for me, for what I've asked, for my higher good. So I don't want to get in the way. I don't want to say it has to be this way or that way, black and white, because then you're in the way. I don't know how it might get done, so I want to get out of the way and let them do it. So here's what I've come to understand, because it's happened to me too. It's happened to me, where everything falls apart like rock bottom. When I'm going for the gold of manifestation, of relief, of prosperity, of health. Sometimes, often actually, in order for you to receive what you're asking for, room has to be made for it. The vacuum has to be cleared. It has to happen. Do you ever notice in your life that you've asked for prosperity, perhaps? And prosperity means clearing out debt. And debt comes along, or debt is cleared out. The prosperity comes along through sometimes supernatural events, or happenings that you don't expect. Perhaps it's just over time and you get the better job and the raise and the opportunities, and the debt is cleared. And then 5-6 years later, it's back again. Heaven will always fill in what is missing. It also fills in what you're comfortable with too. So that's why it's so important to always be in a place of prosperity. But sometimes the way to prosperity is for you to lose the job you're counting on. to hit that rock bottom, because in the build-up, you rise again, but you also rise to better and better. So our life is very much about not only filling that vacuum. It's why lottery winners sometimes, and I'm not, lottery winners have to also be in the moment and have to work on what they're attracting, because they go back to what they're used to a lot of the time. So they've gotten this grand amount, and then they're right back where they started, right? We hear those stories, or sometimes worse. But that isn't a negative spin or negative take on winning the lottery. The universe supplied. It provided what was asked for. Those that won were open to receiving at that moment. And then the universe doesn't control what we do after that. We do. So if we are still in a place of wanting to be in a state of poverty, or wanting to attract debt, or feel more comfortable with debt, because that's what we've always known, that's what the universe provides. It provides us what we're ready for. But let's say, back to topic. Hope I haven't lost you guys. So we're back to topic, and you're ready. You're ready for love. You're ready for health. You're ready for clearing out. You're ready for change. And it's all going the wrong way. What does that mean? It simply means that there is something going on that is preparing you for greater. And there's also something going on that's answering what you asked for. So you have to stay with it. You have to fasten your seatbelts. And you have to go along with the rocky ride. Sometimes there's a storm before the rainbow, isn't there? Sometimes, always, to be honest. And so you have to stay with it and trust it, that you're being heard, that you're not being ignored, you're being listened to, and that there is a team working for you. Now, some of you listening do not have that take like others. There's a dog in my region here that is quite loud. I wonder if you can hear him. Hopefully he will. Well, he's allowed to be a dog. But if you hear him, that's part of Pleasant Valley Sunday, I guess, isn't it? But anyway, when we ask and things fall apart, Heaven's just trying to give us what we want. It's trying to replace what we have somehow asked for. But it can do it in such a dramatic way that for us it's like, oh my goodness, should I have been sorry I asked? It was better before. Keep with it, because it wasn't better before. So let's say you had a desire to have a new kitchen. And all of a sudden, everything's breaking down in the kitchen all at once. And you were thinking, yeah, I want a new kitchen, and I'm going to ask for it. And I expect it'll come slowly and subtly, one thing at a time. And then I'll have a new one, and the universe will help me, and it'll all be all right. But the universe says, I heard your request for a new kitchen, and I'm going to destroy your kitchen this day. And I'm going to maybe destroy it in such a way that you can't even be in your home, or you don't have plumbing, and you will be given a huge bill, and everything will feel like, oh my gosh, how dare I ask what I asked for? And then someone will say to you, be careful what you wished for. Right? That, by the way, that's always a positive. Don't listen to any negative connotations about be careful what you wish for. You do get it, yes. Just watch your thoughts. They're positive, and your feelings and your words. So I got distracted by the big, loud, friendly dog. But what I was saying is that some of you think of all of the universe as energy, and you don't separate that energy into beings. You think it's all scientific, and you're correct. You're all correct. However, I personally come from the knowing and belief system that there is indeed energy forms that are higher beings. They all work as one. They are made of the same type of energy, though some can be a little bit more stronger than others. But I do separate them into angels and spirit guides and ascended masters such as Jesus and Moses and Buddha, and I do believe in a supreme God. But I know of all of that as being energy. I do not personally, I've not had the experience yet, I should say, in my career or in my personal life to see that energy as an old man on a throne. That energy can take any form, yes. And can it take an old man on a throne? Yes, most certainly. But while that energy can take any form, it is not human. However, can it love? Absolutely. It loves. I mean, that's all it knows, to be honest. But it doesn't play favorites. It doesn't love John and not love or not answer the prayers of Emma. Okay? It doesn't there isn't, I just saw this yesterday. Where someone thanked everyone for the prayers. Prayers work. Yes, prayers work. But that prayer wasn't a special prayer that worked, and another person's prayer for their sick loved one did not work. It doesn't work like that. When you ask, you receive. When you pray, you are answered. You got to get out of the way, and it's not your fault, though. You got to get out of the way and trust. Now, some will say, and I hear you. I hear you. Well, maybe it just wasn't for me. Maybe I wasn't supposed to have it. No. Whatever you ask for, you're supposed to receive. Did you give up on faith? Did you stop digging for it and walk away an inch before you got there? Did you say, never mind, it's too upsetting. I'll just stay in this place, I'll just take less. When you ask, it is yours. It is yours. Now, when it comes to health, we should always be asking for help. We can always, and it's good to always pray for others, for their health, for their well-being, to ask for intercession for them. But you must do it unconditionally. You cannot change the path of another person if they don't want you to, if they don't want it to. You cannot make someone stay who does not want to stay. You cannot cure another that does not want to be cured. And it's a deep thing inside. It's a soul thing. It's a will thing. So no matter how they're talking, no matter what appointments they're going to, if inside they don't know if they want it, they may not get it. However, that doesn't mean that they did something wrong and their prayer wasn't answered. It's also individual, our stories. But yes, you should always be serving others. It's just better karma. It's good energy. It multiplies. It's a good person thing to do. We should always be praying for others. We should always be wanting for their happiness. When people say they pray for me, I thank them. I'm like so grateful. I am so grateful. Thank you. Please do. Anyone out there who wants to pray for me ever, go at it. I love it. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Keep them coming. I pray for people also all the time, and I don't tell them I'm doing it. Even when I pray for myself, I throw it out because I want to. If I ask for help for me, I'm asking it for another. It's just who I am. It is good to do that. However, I know that when I'm praying for someone, I'm going for the best. I'm going for the best possible scenario. I'm going for the best possible turnout for their journey, their will, and their soul, out of love. So let's say that you are praying for the recovery of someone and they pass. Did the prayers not work? No, the prayers worked wonderfully. It was their time. And we do what we can and we honor them with their journey. And I know that when someone is young and it is tragic, or someone is very old and they have to go through cancer, on a human level, it is incredibly unfair what we humans sometimes have to go through. I was talking to a very nice older person not too long ago. She's 86. And she was telling me how unfair it was that she had to go through cancer. Yes, it's not right. We should just be able, I think, to go to the transportation lounge when we're ready to go with our will and say, it's just my time. And no one suffers, and the will is just ready, and we get to say goodbye to everyone. And, well, though, some would try to hold on to us. But suffering, fear, tragedy, there is unfairness, yes. But what I know with a capital K, is that there is a reason. There's a larger picture. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't grieve or won't feel great suffering from events. Doesn't mean that we can't be human. There's always a reason for what's going on. There's really, chance can happen, but honestly, we're kind of protected against chance. There's really, for the most part, a purpose behind everything. Let's say that you've asked for love. Maybe you've even asked for love for one particular person. It's not working out. It's not going the way you want. Important to know that when we do ask with our prayers, we are asking for an outcome that we want that may be beyond what our mind is conjuring up. If you ask for a healing, it might feel like they're trying to kill you first, that you barely make it, but then you come back greater than ever. If you ask for love, then it may sometimes take a while. It may seem that no one's hearing you, or that if you've asked for a particular person, that every obstacle is in the way. But they know what your prayer is really saying, and you may have a face in mind. Let this please work out with my spouse. Let us please get through this. Let us please come out of this bigger and better than we could have ever been. Let us be close. Let us be united. But heaven knows when you pray what is really going on, where that other person is coming from, where you're truly coming from, what you're really asking for. And they know what you're really asking for. They know if that person has it or not. And if the answer is they do not, they're not going to stand in a way and help you to stay with someone that is really not what you're looking for, even though your eye is on their face. They know what they're doing. That energy knows what it's doing. However, it honors your free will at the same time. I hope you've had your morning coffee this morning and are alert for this. What I mean is, if you're asking for the most heavenly relationship possible, for it to be close and healthy and wonderful and romantic, and heaven knows you can't have it with this person or the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and they keep trying to send you someone that they know is what you're truly wanting, but you are bound and determined to make the relationships you're in work, we're at a stop. We're at a stop. You got to go with the flow. You got to fasten the seatbelt and go along for the ride and be willing to have change. And change is scary, isn't it? Because change has a lot of elements about not knowing how it will all turn out, and we don't like that as humans. We want to know what to expect. The only time we don't want to know what to expect is when we don't want to know the end of the movie before we see it, or the end of the book before we read it. But in every other case, we usually want to know that it's all going to be all right. Well, guess what, intrepid listeners? It's always going to be all right. It's always going to be all right. It's always going to turn out for the better. The best possible scenario, the best possible outcome. It's always going to do it if you go with it. Now, you are allowed to be human. I've done it. I've said to heaven, that energy that I call that great energy heaven, by the way. You can call it the other realm, you can call it the other side, you can call it source, you can call it energy, you can call it quantum physics, you can call it whatever you want. I call it heaven. And I've said to heaven, you are inundating me right now. You are piling on. What are you doing? Stop. And then I breathe, and I know that they've come around me, that I've gotten a greater sense of strength and courage, and that I will get through that moment that I'm having. But you are allowed to shout out. You are allowed to complain. You are allowed to ask for the lightest path. They want that connection. They want to hear you. They want to know. They know where you're coming from, but they want you to express to them where you're coming from. They want the phone line. They want the phone line with you. You can text to them too. You can write. You can think. You can talk out loud. They want it. Give some more to work with, even though they know who you are inside and out. And that's another thing I want to say. We live in a world currently where people are sometimes so concerned about their privacy. I don't want to get the vaccine because there might be a chip in it. I'm not laughing at that, by the way. I'm just giving you an example. I don't want a cell phone. I don't want to be on Facebook. I don't want them to know things about me. Good citizen, you're an open book. It doesn't matter. If you have a cell phone, you're tracked. And if you're alive on this earth, heaven is tracking you. It hears everything you think, everything you feel, everything you say. It knows what you're going to feel before you even feel it. Your loved ones come around you days, sometimes weeks before they know you're going to have a meltdown, because they know it's coming, because they know you. You're an open book. You're a radar going up and over. So I would think about that when you wonder about your privacy or are concerned, because quite frankly, none of us have it. But I feel, at least in the case of heaven, that that's a good thing. I want them to know what I'm about to go through. I want them to send their help. I want them to help me prosper. I want them to help me go through change. I want them to help me live my best life now. We're a team with that energy. Your thoughts are responded to. Your words are responded to. Your feelings are responded to. That's why every single day I say to someone, if not a group, watch your thoughts, watch your feelings, watch your words. Are you talking for yourself or against yourself? Are you in that reality, quote, mood? Where the reality is what you create. Are you happy with your reality? The reality is what you created yesterday. That's what you're seeing. How's it going? The only reality right now is that, yes, we do have to pay to be here in this world right now. But that isn't a way of shifting. We might at some point, likely at some point, have a change in our monetary exchanges. And that isn't scary. It's about new energy coming to Earth. Lighter energy coming to Earth. But for now, yes, we are the species who has to pay to live here. And so, yes, there is a reality of how much do you have to pay for that life. However, if you focus on what you think you currently physically have, you cannot have more. You must focus on abundance, prosperity, wealth. Walk around happy, walk around light, walk around healed. Walk around knowing that what you have asked for, you have received. You may not see it physically, but you have received it. It's just kind of stuck up between the energetic realm and the physical realm. But it's there, and it will appear to you in your life, in your physical life. It has to eventually. If you ask for something every single day and affirm that you have it, it has to show up. So what are you asking for? Are you asking for drama? Are you asking people to let you down? Or are you asking for a healing? Well done. Are you asking just for love in your life? Well done. And you're open, you're saying, bring it on. And I think this is what I'm wanting, but if you can upgrade it, fine. And until I see it, I'm going to love everyone. I'm going to be generous, unconditional. I'm going to smile like I'm walking along the beach with someone. It's mine. I know it's mine. If you do that every day, you will see it. You will see it. So important. Help always arrives. It always arrives. But once again, it may test you. It may challenge you. It may make you feel tired and weak. You might need your fullest resolve. But if your will is strong and you are confident in your faith, you will always get what you are asking for. Always. Think about that. Think about that. Every single person on this earth, everyone deserves love. Everyone. And I know that you are thinking right now of all those people who are not lovable. Right? But they're the ones that need the love the most, don't they? Someone didn't love them enough. And I do not look down on them with that. It's just a truth. And yes, do I sometimes sigh and say, I wish they had been loved? Well, yes. Do I sometimes not like the energy that others can give to us? Yes. But I know that they, like me, are a creation of that highest source, and that they are loved. And it may annoy you at times, but that they are loved as equally as the fine person that you are. No one, it's like the prodigal child. That heaven will not abandon anyone. Anyone. No one. I don't care who you were and who you are. No one. That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. Because do you really want energy like that? That would? That plays favorites? That judges like man? No. Then you'd have to worry, wouldn't you? You'd have to worry. You'd have to live in fear. You'd have to wonder, am I liked today? Am I sucking up enough? You don't have to do any of that. You are loved just by the fact that you are a creation of that energy. Your birthright is love. It's your birthright. You may not love yourself enough, but you are loved. Think about that. Walk around this world like the king or queen that you are. And when things are looking like a natural disaster has hit your life, or that the worst possible loss has happened, sometimes we cannot understand. We cannot humanly understand. But the one thing I can tell you is that you will understand one day. You will not live dealing with the mysteries the rest of your creation. At some point, you will get to know why that happened, why there was that loss, why there was that challenge. And you will get to see the beauty that was there, and the growth that was there, and all those answers. And that will be a beautiful time. So fasten your seatbelts. Take care of yourself. Rest when necessary. Take a walk in nature when you need to. Be around people that are healthy for you. And know you are loved, and love yourself. Love yourself. You can't love yourself perhaps as much as you are loved. But try. Try because you are worth it. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is a very warm day here in the East Coast, on the East Coast of America. I'm going to be staying out of that heat today. But it's a beautiful day, and I hope it's beautiful where you are as well. And if it isn't, remember, the storm comes before the rainbows, before the pot of golds, before the romance, before the health, before the celebrations. You got this. You got this. Thank you so much. Please be sure to go to my website at lisahop.com. like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. Follow me and like me, please, on Facebook under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. Stay tuned because I've always got something in the works. And thank you again. Many blessings.